guys, so I get this question asked a lot. What is the route that I should go when I get into hotshot trucking or whatever? So I've been asked what's the best way to lease on or be a driver or start your own company or this and that. So there's really 4 different ways that you can go about it. And I'm gonna start it off at the top with starting your own company and getting your own authority. Now to go this route, I recommend having a lot of experience. This is not for the guys just starting out who have no experience or not doing anything. The top level of all of this would be get your own company, get your own authority. However, from what I have heard, I think Progressive is one of them, but there are other insurance companies that are actively telling new authorities no on getting your own insurance, so you really have to shop around and figure it out. Now the problem with this, you also need to be able to get your own direct freight or direct customers or whatever, whether you're doing freight or power only or cars or any of that. It is really hard to live off of the load boards, especially at first. It is possible, but it is hard, especially with brand new equipment just starting out. Rates on the load boards most of the time suck. Generally the load board is the trash that nobody else wanted. There is decent loads on there sometimes, but the problem is the good ones, they go quick. So that's number one. If you have all of the experience and after you've done the rest of them, this is what I would do, is get your own authority, get your own company. Number 2, if you already have your own business, but you don't have your own authority, you can lease under a company. Now, they'll deal with all the paperwork and the headaches. You still have a company to deal with. I have not actually gone through and leased a company onto another company, so I really don't have too much experience there. But it's still a little bit easier than getting your own authority, dealing with insurance. If you get quoted a high insurance price, this is also a route you can go if you already have your own company. You can lease under a company and they'll get you the insurance. Now, you'll have to pay for it, but they should be able to get you a cheaper rate if they have all their other drivers and companies mixed in. That's the second to the top, is have your own company and lease under somebody instead of getting your own authority. There are plenty of benefits to that. You can also get your own authority and lease under another company. What that'll basically do, if you can get the insurance for it, is it keeps your DOT and MC number active so that it actually ages. That these two kind of go together, whether you have your own authority or not. That's a very expensive way to do it, but it is a way to do it so that you can add some age to your MC number as opposed to, you know, starting fresh when you just get into it. And maybe you'll be able to make a couple connections along the way through that company and get some direct customers if you're allowed through that company. Now, if you don't already have a business started, or you decide you want to lease under a company, make sure that you talk to a professional, tax professional and any of that, because I am by no means a tax expert. I am also by no means an expert in this in general. I do know, you know, a decent bit of things, but I don't know everything. So I'm just sharing the information that I know and, you know, the ways that can do it, but I don't want to tell you a ton of things that I really don't know. So that's why I'm saying, speak to a professional about which business you should go, about, you know, LLC or any of those other choices that you can go for a business. Just make sure you speak to somebody before getting in over your head. Make sure you crunch some numbers and make sure that it's going to be worth it to you. Make sure that you understand that you're going to be out on the road for long periods of time. If you have higher overhead, you're going to have to work more. If you have lower overhead, you can work more to kind of make up for things, you know, and save a little bit extra to get newer equipment down the road. But that's my advice to you for that one. That is number 2. So the next thing down, which is what I am doing, because I do not have a business anymore, it's not a headache that I want to deal with for a while. I just kind of want to start over and have a little bit of simplicity in my life. So right now what I am doing is I am a 1099 contractor with my own truck, own equipment, and I am leased under a company as a 1099. So that is, I think, a simple way to do it. Basically, you'll have a little bit less write-offs than a business will. Again, you're going to want to talk to a tax professional about this, but I can only write off so many things, certain things, but everything that I do, I have to keep track of as a individual, as a 1099. Whereas with a business, you can have all the income go through the business, they'll do their own separate taxes, and then you can pay yourself as a W-2 employee through your business. So it's weird how that works. You're working for your own company that is also leased under another company, so it is kind of weird, but it all works out. So that's what I'm doing. I keep track of all of my expenses so that, because I don't pay taxes until the end of the year, I have my write-offs and everything. So that would be, if you want simplicity, you don't know too much, you've never run a business, or you have run a business and you think it's a pain, that would be a step that I would get into if, you know, you just wanted simplicity and you just wanted to figure it out and you don't really want to risk a whole lot. The thing is, not having a business, I can get out of this at any time and just go get a W-2 job, and I don't have to worry about that business keeping that afloat, especially depending on what kind of business it is. So that's number 3, lease under a company as a 1099 contract with your own equipment. Number 4, this is the bottom level, this is the base where you're gonna make the least amount of money, but you can learn the most with the least amount of risk. You're running somebody else's equipment and you have almost nothing to worry about depending on the company that you work for. Basically, I'm gonna tell you to be a company driver. You can go work for a company that's looking for drivers, whether they're CDL, non-CDL, it doesn't matter. Any company that wants to hire a driver for truck, trailer, or just a power-only operation, this is a W-2 position. If a company ever tries to hire you on as just a driver, you're running their equipment, and they tell you that it's a 1099 position, they are ripping you off, they are screwing you over, because you will have no write-offs. They get all the write-offs and they don't have to pay into the taxes that they have to deal with. So that's number 4, become a company driver. So this is 4 ways that I can tell you to get into hotshotting, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a power only, it doesn't matter if you're doing RV transport, it doesn't matter if you're a flatbed, car hauler, a mix of all of them, it does not matter which route it is. There is companies looking for either position for any of these, the last 3 things. Obviously, if you have your own company and own authority, then it doesn't really matter. You can still lease under, but like I said, that's just to get your MC number to age. This is my response to you guys who have been asking me. I know it's not the most intricate thing in the world. It's a super simple answer for a simple question. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out. Something to be mindful of is that a lot of companies will not take on older trucks. Some companies will. The company I'm leased under does. They don't mind. If you do end up needing a company to lease under, send me a message and I will get back to you. Send me your phone number and whatnot, and I will try to see. Let me know your situation you're in, what kind of equipment you have, and I will send that information over to our dispatcher and he will give you a call at some point. Now, this isn't a definite, this isn't guaranteed, this is age sensitive. So if you're seeing this video and it's been a couple of months, make sure you check the date on it before sending me a message, but all my credentials are down in the description. So if you need a company to lease under, I'm not gonna talk finances with anybody on this video or how much you're gonna make or how much to expect. That all depends on you. So each one of these, your driver pay is gonna pay the worst. Leasing under is at 1099. The taxes are gonna be different, but it's gonna pay about the same as a business. And the taxes get about little different between having your own business and hiring yourself, leased under a company, or just leased under a company as a 1099. So it just depends on which route you go. The money's basically the same with those 2. Hope this helps some of you guys out. Try to keep it as short as possible. And if you guys have any more questions, let me know down in the comments and I will try to get back to them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Safe travels. Don't do anything crazy. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.